Fanboy Modeling School.
Yo, Mr. Mantis.
What is going on? Did our theme song just cut off prematurely?
I think it did, but that's okay. Sing it with me, Mathis.
You got me started, man. Why did you get me started? I'll never get this kid started. What's wrong with my camera here?
What's good?
There I go. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing good, brother. How are you? Are we live?
Down. Welcome to Fanboy Modeling School for all of you out there ready to keep it real.
Are we live on Green Room?
Green Room is starting now.
Okay, we're gonna do it again. You let me know when it started.
It's okay. No, wait. This track is so badass.
Who the heck is sending me Discord messages while I'm listening to my music?
People don't understand what if they're not a streamer, they don't know how sacred this time period is. For all of you who have entered the building, welcome to Fanboy Modeling School. I am the Fat Mantis HD, and I am here with
your boy Steve, your Uncle Curmudgeon,
and we are holding it extremely down. We got a great show for you. Before we get into what our actual subject topics are, I want to talk to you about something, my friend.
What do you want to talk to me about, my brother?
Okay, so Let's Go Brandon is not racist.
I knew somehow this was going to come up. Hold on.
Well, here's what it is. The other day I heard somebody say that on a stream somewhere. Okay. And they didn't know the origin, but they're like, it's what those racist people like the Kyle Rittenhouse people say. And actually, in reality, it is not. And what I think one of the problems with modern society, particularly when it comes to like white supremacy, is people look at things that they just don't like and they immediately go, oh, it's racist. That election result was racist.
Racist.
My paycheck is racist. I want to delve into the origin of it. It's super fast. It's not a really long story, but I think it's important that we tell things how they are.
Okay, right. Let's you do that while I do something else.
Okay. You gonna be listening or no?
No, I'm gonna be listening. I'm doing administrative shit. All right, listen. Not everyone can be good.
That's right, guys. He's wiping his ass. But basically, on October 3rd, 2021, in Alabama, at a NASCAR rally, a group of spectators decided that when the camera rolls up around them, they're all gonna start chanting, "Fuck Joe Biden." Ooh. And I know, guys, it's early in the night, right? Normally, I don't start cursing until like 20 minutes in. But that's the kind of crazy night we're going to have tonight. And so they're all doing it. They're all chanting it. It's all chanting it. And then they cut back to the anchors. And the dude, there's the male anchor. He goes, "What are they chanting?" And the female knows very rare. It's clear what they're chanting. She goes, I think they're saying, "Let's go, Brandon." So that has now become a thing that's saying, "Let's go, Brandon" is equivalent to F Joe Biden. It's for anyone who doesn't like our current president. They don't have to be racist or non-racist.
Right.
But it's important to know that is not white supremacist signaling or something like that.
Oh, okay. So it has nothing to do with Carl Rittenhouse, then, is what you're saying.
No, but he has said it in public. But other people said it. People have said it on the Senate floor.
Really?
The Republican senators have finished talking and they go, "And let's go, Brandon."
Let's go, Brandon. Let's
so
go.
Yeah. So now you guys know the truth, where it's at, what you got to do.
Right.
That sort of thing.
Why can't I find the green room?
Wait, what?
Well, I just refreshed. Don't worry about it. You just continue doing you. Oh, there it is. Boom. Let's go, Brandon. Let's
Let's
go.
go.
Holy shit, break. I gotta find that where that Discord notification's coming from. Or I'm literally going to.
Well, first I want to say, welcome in the Hold Up TV, of course.
Yes.
Luca, SMH, Logan, Izzy, and Tristan. I love that PFP, Tristan. Welcome to another episode of Fanboy Modeling School. Now, we've discussed that. We've gotten that out of the way.
Right.
Are we going to get into topics or?
Well, I mean, you picked a topic for tonight. There seemed to be only one topic on your mind.
You know what it is? Basically, I've got a boatload of topics. Really, all of them are going to be like 5 minutes long, except for one, which is going to be 7 hours long. So I hope you guys had your coffee, your Red Bull, your crank, whatever it is you do to stay up, because this is going to be a wild ride, guys.
Crank.
So our long style is going to be Joe Rogan and all the shenanigans going on, and what is the future of the Joe Rogan Experience podcast. Then of course we've got Facebook threatening America. Did they threaten America? And what kind of balls does this nerd think he has? You wouldn't believe what he said. Okay. And we've got to discuss Baby Yoda.
Baby Grogu.
I have a feeling we're going to be discussing for only about 3 seconds the new Disney shows that they announced today at their investors call.
Oh, I didn't even know about that. Okay, cool.
And then we're going to be talking about the Matrix lawsuit.
The Matrix lawsuit?
Like, there's another lawsuit involving our favorite franchise, The Matrix.
I didn't know. Oh, that's right. I remember the original Matrix lawsuit where it was like, oh, we didn't steal it from that dead lady.
Everybody says that it's all stolen. somewhere there was a boxcar hobo who's like, I invented Star Wars.
Yeah, and it's true. George Lucas is like, I found him. He's back on the map.
You know what it is? He probably sat down with the hobo and bought him coffee and goes, tell me more about this galaxy far, far away.
Where how far is it? So which one you want to kick it off with, man?
Do we want to go big or do we want to go?
We should probably you know what? Let's go big. Let's go big.
Let's go big, Joe. Joe Rogan. A lot of controversy going on there. All sorts of things coming out at every direction. What will be the fate of this podcast? So to catch you guys up, obviously a lot of people do not like the people he has been interviewing and the things he's been saying. And so to silence him, they first started getting a bunch of old fuddy-duddy, I don't even know if they're rockers or like folk singers or something.
Neil Young.
Neil Young, yeah, I wouldn't define him as rock and roll, but to just say they're going to take their music off Spotify as if they make money off of Spotify in the first place,
right.
Protest them, and it just seemed like a very lame attempt.
It was Neil Young, and NDRE was the second person to pull the music, but NDRE had an interesting. Yeah, NDRE had a really interesting take, which I thought was actually very interesting. Now, I'm not saying that NDRE is pulling millions and millions of clicks. I don't know. I don't know what her metrics are. I loved her first 2 albums back in the day.
That's what I'm saying, back in the day.
But here's what I will say. She made a great point in the sense that they are taking, well, I think she made an interesting point. They are taking artists money to pay, taking artists pennies to pay Joe Rogan millions.
Yes, but he brings in people. I will bet anything. I will bet my life.
Hold on.
NDRE has never brought in 11 million clicks.
Hold on. Here's the thing, though. Her point is cemented in the fact, before you get emotional,
there's no emotion. I'm just hitting you up with facts you may not have been aware of.
Well, here's a fact you may not have been aware of. What was Spotify built off of?
Yo, man, money is green. I know what you're saying. Music.
Yeah, it was built off of music. So her point, I'm just espousing her point, is that Spotify has made billions by not paying artists millions by giving them a fraction of the penny. So what she's saying is that, maybe it's not her music, but it's the reason Jay-Z pulled his music from Spotify, because the cut for the artist really isn't worth it. Now, obviously, NDRE is not, going platinum here in these days. But she makes a point, which is that Spotify, in a shrewd business mood, screwed a lot of artists with a bad digital deal. You can disagree with the sentiment. You can't disagree with the fact. That was a bad deal they dished out.
Well, here's what I'm saying. At no point do people have to take it. And if someone else, another like a record company, owns your catalog and you have no choice over it, well, that's unfortunate for you because you cut a deal that probably wasn't awesome in the first place.
Right. You don't have to take it. But here's the thing, right? When the industry moved away from vinyl and the death of vinyl and then CDs and digital sales, there's no other avenue for an artist. Like, listen, we can go back and forth on this, but the market in regards to music, you either got in where you could to keep your music out there because there was no other medium. Let's just keep the facts.
There is a sad fact or a metric that people aren't understanding, that as media changes, the importance of the musical artist is shrinking. There used to be a time when I used to have to shell out $20 to listen to someone's album. Now I routinely and legally go to YouTube and listen to it for nothing.
Wait, you go to YouTube and listen to people's albums for nothing? Did you just say that?
Basically, there's almost no way. It's too easy to obtain somebody's songs because of modern media. So the value of music is going down.
Wait, but rewind that for a second. Did you say you go to YouTube and legally listen to people's songs? Yeah. Are you going to the artist page to listen to these songs?
Yeah, yes, they put it on their page because they know they have to put out a little leg. Yes, of course.
Keep it all the way buck. So you're going directly to the
artist. I check if every time I click on a song, it's confirmed to be? I'm like, look at Ariana Grande song. Is it Ari's official site? I don't know. I'm good. Fine.
Wait. You do it. Hold on for a second. You and I agree on about 98% of things, but I'm going to hold you to the fire here a little bit. Don't do that. Don't do that thing. Like, I'm just too busy to verify if I'm actually doing. If you're clicking on an official.
If I'm clicking, you're right. It is grimy. It is grimy. I should be more careful. However, I'm not justifying what I'm doing. Is what I'm saying. I'm pointing in that is how humans in the modern age are behaving.
Right.
And as a result, what they are putting out is becoming less. Spotify, why should they pay them everyone $1 a click when they're not going to go here. They'll go to YouTube and listen to all of India.A's soundtrack for free.
And listen, man, I'm going to represent. I did the same thing in my live with DaVinci last night. So I always
was a great live, by the way. I think you've had times on Men Supporting Men when you couldn't wait to call in. Last night, I was like, I wish I could call in. Just interject right now.
I'm going to represent the other side in certain points of the argument. Obviously, no one's clicking on India.Arie, but shout out to India.Arie. You made some good damn music, and that's your right to pull it if you want to. But her point was just like, hey, this platform became big because of music, and now they're giving out deals. That's not necessarily how that works. Joe Rogan got the deal that he got because they base it off a metric of how many clicks, how many views on YouTube, and then he was able to go to the table and get that. And that's why DJ Academics was able to sign up. Joe Budden obviously had an opportunity with Spotify, and that fell through. But
DJ Academics is a fellow green roomer, by the way.
Yeah. Send me some money, Ack.
Tip us, man. Check out our cash app.
Please, we need sponsors. But let's get to the meat of it, right? So this is the second cancellation of Joe Rogan within 2 weeks. A record.
Yeah, they're working hard to dig up. And India and her crew did some digging.
Well, see, there you go, man. Fallacious statements without you. Don't do that. We don't know if India.Arie had anything to do with it.
Well, wait, she was the one who I understand she tweeted the first video.
India.Arie, we know you had something to do with it.
She said, "I don't support people like this," and then she had a little video, and that's the one I saw when I was like, "Holy."
Okay.
So I don't know if she got it, her publicist got it, who knows? But
let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. Let's just bust this thing wide open. Who's at fault here? Because when I went to go look up the clip, I went to go see. I'm like, oh, he's probably going to be making jokes, and it's like some type of making fun of Boston guys with funny accents, saying the N word. And then I realized after listening to the clip, it wasn't the N word statements that people were really upset about. It was the last part of that clip. Do you know what the last part of the clip is? What he's talking about? He went to Philadelphia. He was in Philadelphia.
Oh, when he said he went to the bad neighborhood.
Yeah, wait, no, he didn't say bad neighborhood.
Yeah,
He said
I'm not
black
going to say it. Oh, actually, before we continue, we need to decide what language we're going to allow on our cast.
we're not going to say N-word or anything like that. But he said he went to we could say black neighborhood. He went to a black neighborhood to see the Planet of the Apes. And when he got there, he was like, I was, his quote was, I was in the Planet of the Apes. And then he called him, he said a few more things. And he's like, that's racist what I said. I shouldn't have said that. And then he went on to espouse, how it was a good time. Now, I know certain friends of mine are going to be watching. And I got some news for you on Rogan and the fate of his streaming. I don't know how true this is. I haven't verified it, so don't quote me on it.
I know what they're saying. I don't know if anything's
No, this is not the fate of Spotify, like another opportunity.
Of him, yeah. No, I know what you're saying.
How could you know what I said? I haven't said it yet.
I'm saying I know what the news is about, the rumor about what it is. So another company offered him something.
Okay. Well, stay out of my brain then. So let me ask you this. I think the N-word is the low-hanging fruit in this conversation, because most people would give him a pass if it was just like, hey, what's the context? What's he talking about? What was it pertaining to? Blah, 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 blah. Let's get into the black neighborhood thing, because that's not low-hanging fruit. What are your thoughts?
And so it's also not, the black neighborhood thing is also not, as he explained the other thing, when he was like, we were talking about the N-word and we were dissecting the N-word and talking about society in his other casts. And I say, and that I'll be like, I might give you a pass for that.
Yeah.
The neighborhood conversation was racist jokes with your friends.
Yes.
Except he didn't realize he was on a podcast.
He didn't realize when he was mic'd up with headphones on talking.
This is a real complicated one, because remember, I don't believe in cancel culture. So is he guilty? Yes. Does that mean he should lose his livelihood? Because, and once again, that particular one was the 11-year-old clip.
Okay, let me ask you this question, and I'll answer yours first. I don't believe in cancellation either, but that doesn't mean there aren't consequences for the things that you say. So what Spotify decides to do as a private corporation, they probably would have let the N-word thing slide. I'm telling you, it's like, he's
Amy Pascal, Amy Pascal from Sony, does the Spider-Man movies. A couple years back when they did the Sony leaks, she was caught in multiple emails making horrible jokes about people and saying N-bombs. She was calling actors N-bombs.
Yeah.
And they were like,
and then she made a movie about a black
she skirted over that. She was like, I'm rich. It's all good.
She's like, here's a half black, half Puerto Rican Spider-Man. Silence. But like, people probably would have, they could probably gonna let that go. The question is, can people let go of the Planet of the Apes thing?
Well, here's the thing. There is no way he's going to walk away with this with the same amount of subscribers. Like, there's going to be a lot of people who aren't getting. He's not going to be hitting 11 million. I would be seriously amazed if he actually hits 11 million on the next time he decides to come back.
I wouldn't be amazed. To be honest with you, I wouldn't be amazed. I mean, here's the thing, man. Like I was saying last night in the live, man. Joe Rogan is a cultural not a phenomenon. He's a cultural icon at this point, right? And though in the microcosm of social media and the 3 news networks that most people watch, it seems as if though the world is burning down.
Oh, every moment.
But the thing about it is, I don't think he's actually going to get canceled, right? I don't know what his contract looks like with Spotify. I am willing to bet, though, that there is some anti-clause in there, like, hey, I will respect the brand, and I will respect Spotify as a
platform. I can't imagine him actually signing any contract at the point of his height when people were thirsty for him, without some sort, like you said, a clause that will be like, I got to say whatever the fuck I want.
Well, yeah, I mean, Spotify is not going to sign off on that, but what they will say is like, we will come to hypothetically, I'm thinking maybe they came to an agreement, like, we will examine each situation and see if it's actually a breachable offense. But you still didn't answer the question, though, and it's a hard question for me to ask, because I'm going to be honest, I was just dealing with the N-word stuff last night, and then this morning, after dropping my beautiful mother off from a nice visit this weekend, I listened to the whole thing, and I was like, oh heck.
What up, Lizzie? Lizzie came in, and so does Jess Martinez, Guillermo, Gia, Billy.
Yes, what's up?
What up, guys? What is up? So we're here on Fanboy Modeling School. We're discussing the Joe Rogan situation. Um, what to do with this guy, right?
So, hey, what's up, Lizzie? So here's the thing, right? I told you before. Actually, let me not blow up any of my friends. I've been monitoring multiple conversations. Man, you know how I get down out here in these streets. I'm monitoring many conversations. I'm looking for inconsistencies. I'm looking for how people are approaching this. And again, to answer the question, because I want to be consistent, I'm going to stick with my point last night. Does he deserve to get canceled? No. I think that the apology for me is good enough where it's like, hey, this was dumb. Don't insult my intelligence. Don't go to any racially sensitive motivational classes. I don't want to see Joe Rogan holding black babies. That ship has sailed. He apologized.
I don't think he would. I actually don't think he would, though.
Yeah, I don't give a shit. Like I don't care. And this is the reason I take this stance of I don't care about what he does next in regards to the subject is he said it. It's out there. He can't hide from it. No one's going to be able to conservative this away. No one's going to be able to right wing this away. No one's going to be able to, do that because you got to just deal with what he said. But I'm going to be consistent where I'm okay with Whoopi being suspended for 2 weeks. And whatever she decides to do after that, that's between her and her network. Whatever happens next with Joe Rogan and Spotify, that's between Joe Rogan and Spotify. But I will say this, I'm going to stand 10 toes down on this. If you step up to my plate with this weak argument of, and I'm not talking about you, I'm speaking directly to certain people. If you step up to my plate with this weak argument, either that's too far left or too far right, I'm going to smash you because this is not something you can just be like, well, the liberals and their pantyhose and their rainbows and all that stuff. The man acknowledged what he did. He wasn't bending the knee to the mob.
It's so funny you said that because there is a conservative pundit who was like, he bent the knee.
And that's, man, just let's stay clear thinking, man. Here at Fanboy Modeling School, I don't agree with the mob, man. I don't agree that people should be canceled and there should be little people with not little people. I mean, people with pickets standing outside your house and stuff like that. But if you say something stupid, you gotta own up.
Yes, exactly. No, I absolutely agree. I absolutely agree with you. I don't believe in any cancellations because cancellations usually go too far. It's a digital lynching of somebody who, like, maybe you tar and feather them, laugh at them for a day or two, move on. But people are like, they should lose every deal they ever have. They shouldn't be able to work. They shouldn't be able to come out in public. They shouldn't be able to shop with their family anymore. We should chase their kids out of school. That's how far canceling gets, and it gets pretty out there.
Yeah, no, absolutely. No level-minded person is thinking that, right? You really gotta okay, here we go. I'm going all the way in.
We're gonna say things that are gonna get us canceled. I'm gonna get canceled, and from a group you wouldn't even believe I'm gonna get canceled.
I'm gonna go all the way in, man. Not only am I against cancel culture, I'm against outrage culture. All you outrage people who just sit around looking, if you're right leaning, just looking for reasons to be outraged, and all you left leaning people that just look for reasons to be outraged, you guys should spend more time in cognitive therapy because obviously you're missing out on life.
Because that's how they decided to take out their thing. So before there was the circle of screaming, right? The circle of screaming. Right. And so, the idea for those who don't know, welcome in D Love is giving us some love in the chat.
Also,
welcome in.
I want to show love real quick to Marisol, who's watching us over on YouTube.
Mary, what up? The circle of screaming is basically the concept of just people need to get their rage out. And so when your boss yells at you or someone you can't fight back, like in some cases, your wife,
right.
Whatever the fuck it is, whatever dynamic had,
maybe he's not talking about you.
No, that wasn't any particular thing. And you end up going to someone who's lower than you on the totem pole of life, and you yell at them, and then they keep saying, and it becomes this vicious circle, right? So you can't yell at your mom or whatever. So you go to the diner, and the waitress comes, and you yell at her, and then she goes home to her pimp and yells at him or whatever.
Right.
And so because people stopped using that, now they use the internet as the outrage thing. They're like, I'm so glad a celebrity messed up today so I can take it out on the keyboard. And they're typing away. What is it? The Kermit meme of him doing work on a typewriter.
Yeah.
That's these outraged idiots.
Yeah.
It's unhealthy. It's unhealthy. It never gets anything accomplished. What's wrong with you people?
And by you people, he meant exactly what I'm thinking. You outrage people. And I lump you all in. Man, Mantis, I am feeling strangled by fake outrage, echo chambers, people sitting in places, messaging each other all day. And I'm like, hey, get on the front line, homeboy. You don't like what Joe Rogan says. He has people that have views that are not consistent with your views on the Bang Bang. And we can't say it. I've gotten hit with 2 mysterious copyrights on my channel.
Yeah.
I'm not going for a third.
You got a hater out there, I promise you.
You don't like his views on the Bang Bang and Omegatron and all that stuff. Well, build your own platform up, or here's an even more capital idea: release enough videos with factual evidence, combat bad ideas with bad ideas. Here's the next thing. In regards to the N Word thing, hey, welcome in. In regards to the N Word thing. Oh, what up, Lizzie? I see you on YouTube. In regards to the N Word thing, you don't like what he said about the N Word. I don't like it either, right? But let's examine it case by case. Let's see what the context was. And then, most importantly, before any of you start using the word that starts with scene but rhymes with boon to describe me, you wouldn't say that to my face in a hot minute. I promise you, you wouldn't say any of that. But you got to ask yourself, do you believe in forgiveness? Now, a man apologizes. He says he's sorry. I get no money from Joe Rogan getting canceled. And I don't get no money from him staying on air. But if he sincerely if he's speaking from his heart, I don't know his heart, and he's saying that this was wrong of me, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt.
Well, I am saying that I am firmly in his pocket. He pays me every week to be his shill.
I know that.
And I'm going to say he did nothing wrong. It's the lefties who are doing this to him. And there is no such thing as the coof.
It was payola, and they ruined Star Wars.
So, an interesting turn of events. Now, I admit that here's what it is. This is the new conservative talking point to protect Joe Rogan.
Yes.
And so I think it's as invalid. It's true.
Yeah.
But an invalid point of view.
Okay.
They pointed out that the news is saying Spotify took down 100 of episodes. The real number is 71. As if that matters. It doesn't matter how many episodes.
Not in the least bit.
And so then another thing is a chunk of them, more than half, are not actually have anything to do with racism or the N word. Spotify took the opportunity to take away all the things they don't really like, mainly insulting China and insulting the Saudi Arabia. And they're like, this is all about money. And so they switch it into a conversation about money.
Right.
And I'm like, yo, just because they decided to do that does not nullify what the man did over the years.
Yeah.
It's like, it's a very, it's a messed up argument, but we live in this point where people are completely blind to one side or the other, right?
No, 100%. And I think, we talk about this quite often, but I'm going to say it with my chest tonight. Do not allow yourself to become the figurehead for either one of those sick, dying ideologies. Listen, I think Ben Shapiro says some useful stuff sometimes. I actually don't put Jordan Peterson in the same realm as them. I think he's more of just a thinker.
Yeah.
He can be consistent. I understand that Tucker Carlson is like some child prodigy, just like Ben Shapiro was, but they have bad takes sometimes. But here's the thing about consistency, Mantis. When they're correct, I have to concede and say, whoa, that was correct. Yes. That was correct.
The problem is that when their side, and once again, they're not even gunning for themselves. They're gunning for people they probably don't even know.
Yeah.
An idea, to keep they're like, well, he's on my side, so I'm just going to spin it in some absurd way so that my man is innocent.
Yeah, they're gunning for views, man. They're the original YouTubers. They're like, we got to get these clicks, baby.
Yeah. Oh my God. Don't even get me started.
Man, you didn't notice I cut my beard off, man. There's a funny story to that, bro. I usually have my full grown man.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I look like I fit the description.
When I came on, I was like, Steve looks like a little boy right now. But like I assumed it was the light.
It's the light.
Yo, that's the best time. People love to call. Apologies anytime I've called you when you're about to start your show. Call or text or whatever. Have a problem when you're on stream. Not you, but anyone.
And anyone. But yo, well, wait, you were going to tell me a story. You were going to tell us a story about who you're being canceled by.
Oh, well, here's basically the take I have about cancel culture. And so if I insult anybody, like more than half our fans probably fall in this category, I still love you. I still love you. But it comes down to this. What I don't like about cancel culture, remember, ladies, I love you, is that it is tactics that are very womanly.
Oh boy.
Here we go. So they talk about how like, men and women deal with issues of having rivals and stuff, right? And so a very common one amongst women, like one of the most popular ones, is destroying someone's reputation. And that's what cancel culture is. It isn't confronting someone in the street and saying, yo, man, you wronged me. You're up in my face. You wronged me. Let's do this. Let's have a conversation, or it's going to get physical. The other alternative, which is, a very womanly thing, is let's just destroy his reputation.
Uh-oh.
And that is what I do not like. Welcome in, Auntie Cat, who came just in time to hear that. Lizzie says, I mean, he's not wrong. Look, one on my
side. No, you're not wrong. Here we go. Let's just get into it, man.
Let's do it. Let's get our hands dirty.
I'm not the toughest guy on earth. I've lost a fight. You notice my nose is crooked. My jaw hurts from every day from having it broke. I've been concussed. I got beat down in Kew Gardens by like 11 dudes.
But you have won a lot of fights.
Irrelevant. The fights I lost are affecting me now.
They stay with you longer than the ones you win. For some reason, you forget the ones you win. I know what you mean.
But I got to say this, man. I agree with you in the sense where I agree with you. I'm only using the word sense to move on to the next statement, which is when it comes to conflict and it comes to standing up for ideals, I think the easiest thing people will ever do in this world is jump on a bandwagon and attack someone. And I can't validate that everyone who's attacking Joe Rogan, who wants him to get canceled, actually cares about this situation. And that's like a point blank period for me. I'm not speaking for Mantis. I'm saying right here, right now, man, that like it's consistent with my worldview. If the guy said he's sorry, then cool. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm moving on. Now I have a decision to make about the consumption of his content, right? I don't watch a lot of Joe Rogan long podcast shows. I haven't watched a full one since the Alex Jones. Oh, I said it. Debacle.
Is his name gonna get us busted? I don't know.
Possibly. I haven't watched a full one since then, and I tried to watch the Jordan Peterson one, but it's hard to follow Jordan Peterson like at normal speed. You got to watch it fast forward and then break it down and use the dictionary and the thesaurus to figure out what the hell he's talking about because he's got a lot up there. I don't know if I'll continue to watch if there's going to be like this type of stuff surrounding it, right? It was in the past, but at this point, it's like now.
I doubt he's going to like keep going.
Well, my point also is I don't want to watch any longer if he's going to start editing himself, right? There are times when I go to watch Rogan's show because he's consistent in his approach. I remember when he had Steven Crowder on, right? And this is something the right doesn't like to talk about. Steven Crowder felt like he got ambushed, and all Joe Rogan said was, "Why do you feel attacked when I ask you a question?"
He wasn't expecting. That.
2 or more people disagree with you.
What I'm saying, Joe Rogan doesn't normally. He does censor. Not that he censors himself, but he has restraint. You see him think about the next thing he's gonna say. He doesn't just blurt out crazy shit.
Right.
No matter how much the left wants you to believe that. Yeah. Izzy says I was the first person he ever lost to. Auntie Cat says men are nuclear warfare and women are bio warfare. Wow. Oh, that's an analogy right there. Guillermo says Jordan Peterson just brought psycho to psychology. A well-spoken dude mad at the scientific community for using the term climate on the climate change issue or blaming women for some man being losers.
That's an interesting take.
That is an interesting take. Lizzie says we should just call him "He Who Shall Not Be Named," referring to that name that we spoke
Man,
earlier.
don't say it more than 4 times. No, it's just that, man. Like, so I go to the Rogan Experience to, to see people and to hear different thoughts, trains of thoughts. Some of them, was a waste of 3 hours. Other times I was like, oh, that's interesting, and then I go check out that person's catalog. I don't want to, I'm probably not going to stick around if it's going to become this thing where people aren't allowed to come up on the platform, and every week I have to deal with someone pretending to be outraged about something,
Oh yeah, and actually, this is my argument against you. You made a statement at one point where you're like, if you have one side of the argument, you have to let the other side come up. I think that's the honorable thing to do. I don't think you have to do it, and I think I might not like the podcast if he did that.
So okay, let me let you finish that thought, and but
I'm
I
just
want to
thinking
hold on.
that every time he has somebody who's like, "I'm a climate change denier," and
Yeah.
that's interesting, right? It's like, yeah, let me talk to this guy.
Right.
And then the next time have someone who is all about climate change and is a scientist who can prove it. That might not be as fun.
See, but I think fundamentally that's the issue. That's the fundamental difference, I guess, between people who are watching. Are you coming for information or are you coming to be entertained? Because someone who's go ahead.
My just thought is that the mainstream has that opinion already, so he's just offering an alternative talk about it.
Right.
And I personally in my life, I don't need any more people trying to convince me of climate change or to get a vaccine or to do any of the shit that is on the news every damn day.
Don't use the V word again, please.
Oh, we can't say that word. We can say that word. Come on. I was gonna get the bump. Whatever it is. Remember, Steve, don't make this lame by censoring yourself.
Yeah. See, and that okay, so that's an interesting take, and I'll circle back to that one as well. So I get what you're saying, right? And I'm not gonna insult your intelligence by saying you're entitled to your opinion. I'm gonna say that I think that's a bad take in regards to I don't think he shouldn't be compelled to do things, right? But the consistent way of doing something would be you make assertions, you put out information, right? You put data out that you're presenting as hard fact or your guest does, right? You have to, the proof of burden is now on you. And I think that's the problem with the podcast realm.
So
people pop off and say stuff, word vomit, and they don't have the courage to stand behind the statement. And they go, "Oh man, it's just entertainment, bro." That's
But may I ask?
Go for it.
You had a very controversial YouTuber and Manosphere guy.
Yeah, and then I had
one of your things.
I had Public Friend the next week.
Public Friend's supposed to be the opposite of this.
I had DaVinci on my. I've interviewed DaVinci.
Well, you do a DaVinci show together, right?
No. I have interviewed DaVinci on Conversations That Matter.
I'm saying I feel the opposite of him. Just my personal opinion would be a feminist that would eat DaVinci for breakfast. One that's angry and ready to burn it down.
See, and you see what you tried to do there? You see, I am aiming to be consistent. And I said that before. Shout out to my boy El Guapo. Before I brought him on.
Yeah, shout out to El Guapo. That was a great interview.
I said I had DaVinci on. I allowed DaVinci to talk about her views or her brand of feminism, right? I should be allowed to have El Guapo on and to have him talk about his brand of the manosphere. Now, I know that's a little different than the proposition of Joe Rogan bringing on someone to combat Jordan Peterson, right? But at the same time, how about this? Why not have Joe Rogan? I mean, I wish Joe Rogan would host debates, right? He's good at moderating debates.
He should have done a presidential.
Now, that's content that we would all get behind, right? And then I can make an informed decision. But it's his platform. He could do anything. Or is it his platform?
Yeah, that is interesting. Or any of these things are platform.
Yeah.
Does a fanboy modeling school have one, or do these evil overlords that control the internet really control us? They can shut us down if they want. Yeah. But what I'm saying is one of the things that makes El Guapo seems like a great guy.
Right.
But another thing that's interesting about the interview is he talked about a perspective that you rarely ever hear about if you're a mainstream just dude hanging out. If you're not looking for red pill content, that interview was shocking.
Right. I
And
get you.
that's what made it you couldn't turn it off when it was on.
Right. No, I get that. But at the same time, do you want to be consistent or do you want to be entertaining?
And the thing is because remember his history is being a comedian, Joe Rogan. I
Yeah.
think he's obviously aiming for entertainment. I think consistency's a joke to him.
No, I don't think it is. Look at his approach with Gupta. Right? Joe Rogan was not being funny. Look at his approach, you know what I'm saying? Like his approach with Crowder. That's why I respect Rogan, because he can be consistent, because he's like, dude, don't come up here. For God's sake, what's this guy's name? The Rubin Report guy. He never officially, Joe Rogan, this is, never officially said why Dave Rubin wasn't allowed on his show anymore. But he basically inferred, he was like, I'm removing all grifters. You know what I'm saying? Candace Owens came up to his show, and when she said something idiotic, or what he perceived as idiotic, about climate change, she has not been on the Rogan show since. And he said it to Dave Rubin. Dave Rubin was like, I really think she could be president. And he was like, her? Really?
Yeah, I know. I mean, president? Come on, are you kidding?
I get your point. You're defending non-compulsion. Like, I get that, and I respect that. I'm just saying I would like to see Rogan make that decision on his own, if he still owned his own platform.
Well, that's our next thing we're about to bring up about what about freedom of speech. How do we do this as streamers? Guillermo says Rogan doesn't need to be canceled. He already lost listeners. He is a great interviewer, but he got lost in a circle of guests and probably his new friends. Tell me who you hang out with, and I'll tell you what you smoke. What you need to do is regulate big tech. They profit with misinformation. Facebook did it. Twitter does it. Accountability to the platforms have this leaders of opinion who millions of people listen to.
I want to engage with that for a second. So let's say that and I agree, we should bring accountability to big tech. Now, let's look at the hypothetical and follow that to its natural conclusion. We put accountability on big tech. Does that mean, since we put accountability on big tech, that it doesn't resurface that Joe Rogan admittedly compared African Americans to apes when he went to a neighborhood?
So, right. So let's say let's say big tech's like, well, we're going to do the responsible thing and just clean up his old podcast.
No, I'm not even talking about clean up his old podcast. I want to engage with what what Guillermo said. So let's say in this hypothetical, let's give a thought problem. Facebook is now at our behest, and now they have to do the ethical thing, and they can't feed us misinformation, and they can't give us a diet of nonsensical BS, right or left. Does that mean that Rogan didn't make the statement? Because that's what we're all debating about. What is
did the platform you're saying make it?
Yeah, no. Did Rogan, even if we regulate big tech, does that change the fact that it came out later that Rogan made this statement? Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, if the question is,
sure.
Okay, if the statement is we need to regulate big tech, Joe Rogan doesn't need to be canceled. So assume that one day we regulate big tech. Let's say when the next controversy happens. So who is that the fault of? Is it the fault of the person or big tech?
Right.
An idiotic statement. And how do you approach it then?
Right. And so that's why, I mean, obviously, we all probably have different visions of what regulating big tech is.
Yeah, I mean, them giving us money. Shout out to the Fanboy Modeling School sponsor.
Shout out. Hell yeah. Fanboy Modeling School for life. Nailed to the modeling cross. Guys, what I'm getting at is who then becomes the arbiter of the truth, and that's the problem. And I'm sure half of you are like, well, Snopes is the arbiter of truth. Okay there, guy. But in reality, what is information? Misinformation already is a bogus statement.
Right.
Because what is true? What is real?
What do you mean?
For instance, when he interviewed those scientists about the coof, right?
Okay. Right.
They're experts in a field. and that's their truth.
Oh,
Other people are like, oh, no, that's
no. Let's at least show the scientists some respect. They would not use a term like "this is my truth." This is the
they're like,
my
I'm using
conclusion
data and my
based,
profession and all these things.
yes,
I own
yes.
patents. I'm a professional. Yes.
Yes.
I would say the little
Don't
Indian
say it.
would say this is their truth. But okay, fine. You want to get even more hardcore. This is the truth. But then other people go, well, that's not the truth. Who then decides what is the truth?
Well, go for it.
Is it Brandon up in the White House? Is he the one who's going to be telling us what the truth is? Who tells us what the truth is?
No, he's too busy eating cupcakes. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're trying to keep him from chasing after ghosts in the hallways. What I'm saying, well, if we're looking at like the scientific model, then they measure the data versus the most compelling data, and then we follow that to the facts. That's the only reason I have an issue with the "my truth" statement, because it makes its way into a conversation. But you're absolutely correct. So then it becomes an issue between scientists, right? And then we have to have the information released to the public in a way where we can understand it. Because let's be real, all these people screaming to understand stuff about Megatron and Omarion and all the new remixes that come out, they don't really care to learn the science. They didn't pay attention in school in regards to stuff, but now they read a post and they're an expert. Just deal with the spirit of the argument. I'm going to publicly say this right now: people should not be compelled or forced to get the vax. I said it on my channel.
Look how inconsistent Steve is.
No, because I want to say that with my chest. It's like, it's a stupid argument. Like, why saying like,
that's my major problem, that I keep having arguments with people and they don't understand what my issues are. Like, so you're thinking it's all right if everyone dies? I said no. I just think you shouldn't be forced to have any medical procedure, including the jab. It's your decision if you want to get yourself sick.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, Logan says it's ironic that in an era of my truth, we have people demanding misinformation be canceled.
Logan, I don't know your address, but I'm going to send you merch that we don't have.
We're going to make merch just for you. That's how much we love you.
That's a great statement. What am I?
Guillermo says, if big tech is regulated, when he says something stupid again, if he has a huge public, he immediately won't be able to air misinformation, like influencing people to treat COVID with horse medicine. It's dangerous coming from people who have a big audience, especially in a country with a culture of idiots. The problem is that, however, right. And so this is once again, what is truth? So for instance, not only did his medical professional, but there are a fair amount of medical professionals who think that medicine is fine and don't think that it's horse dewormer. They think people think it's horse dewormer because they listen to Saturday Night Live. If you get your medical information from Saturday Night Live, you think it's horse dewormer. But actual doctors think it's fine to use. And it must have been fine to use because in this example, Joe Rogan is alive and well.
I mean, oh boy.
And so, this is the thing. We're arguing about what truth is, right? And so we're all going to have different truths. We can argue at the end of the day. I understand your thing about facts. You can't prove facts. What are you talking about, bro?
Oh my goodness. Use the correct term. We all have our subjective experience. We're all living in the same reality. You don't get your own reality where ice cream becomes water in the universe.
What's the correct? Okay, why don't you say it, man? What is the correct?
Your subjective
are talking about different treatments for the coof. What's the correct one to do?
Your subjective experience, or how you view the data based on your implicit bias. Not your own freaking reality. This is not freaking.
I don't think that I'm not trying to pull some sort of Tibetan crap where I'm like, my reality will bend. The spoon will bend. That's not what I'm saying.
Rising up behind you right now.
That's what I'm saying is, how do you know what is truth? Is it the thing that Rogan took, or is it
hold on,
whatever the opposite?
So how do we know the truth about that? Well, what does the information say about it? Why was it prescribed to him by a human doctor for a specific purpose for a human that was having an ailment?
So here is the huge misunderstanding a lot of people are having. The same main chemical that's in it is also used in horse dewormer. However, this particular thing, although it is there to fight fight parasites fights the symptoms of COVID. And
You
so
know how-
not only did this overly paid doctor, professional doctor, other ones believe it works as well.
So this is not new in the medical community. Do you think someone just came up with MDMA because they wanted to watch kids dance around with glow sticks? It's insanity. It's insanity.
And what it is that then Saturday Night Live and a lot of other people were like, he uses horse dewormer.
Well, okay. Well, here's the interesting thing, right? There was a chance for a medical professional who came on Rogan's show, Gupta, I actually felt bad for Gupta in that situation because it wasn't like he was sitting around with that moron Don Lemon and like saying a bunch of atrocious stuff. And it's not like Joe Rogan doesn't deserve not to have things said about him. That's not what I'm saying. But when you say something, you better back it up. And when you step into that person's wheelhouse, don't come back with well, I just realized he's an MMA fighter first. He practices jujitsu. I've never had a 3-hour conversation with anyone. What does that even mean? Do you have
what does that even mean? The mere fact that he went on that, he was like, I was scared for my life sitting in that studio and that podcast I was on where he was 12 feet away from me and across the table, just because he not even aggressively was like, yo, your newspaper lied about me. He said it that calmly too.
No, he was like, bro, your network lied about me.
That was not even remotely angry, in my opinion. That is not a man who's angry.
You know what? I don't like using this term, but
I'm feeling a term too.
Beta.
Yes, that's what I was thinking. Only the beta-ist of males would think that was an aggressive exchange.
He disagreed with me. My ice cream melted.
Oh my! He disagreed with me. He had a tone. Did he raise his voice? No, but there was a tone.
The tone argument is for marriage. It's not for insanity.
Yeah, that's the tone. Married couples just be talking in tones all day long. You can whisper at each other. Somehow it's a tone. Gray says they think it's fine to use ivermectin for parasites, but the data says that you would have to take toxic amounts of it to work on a virus. He also used other treatments at the same time. Yes, he is a holistic dude or whatever.
Yeah. Well, when Gray says he used other treatment, he used other Western medical treatments on top of some Eastern stuff and exercise and everything like that. So, yeah. And here's the interesting thing about that. Did you see the thing with Dana White when he was doing the post fight and someone asked him about Rogan and this, that scenario.
Oh, I did see that. Yes, I actually did.
And then some reporter, he was just like, what's your take? He's like, and all Dana White, his original statement was, I can't believe that I'm not even allowed to pursue me as an individual alternative treatments. And to talk about those treatments warrants people thinking that I'm trying to lead other people astray. And then a reporter stood up, and this is what I'm talking about. Not stood up, but he's like, are you a doctor? And I was like, that is the most...
That's one of the go-to things. You know how nowadays, if anyone agrees with you, they're either a Russian hacker or a racist. If you say any fact that someone doesn't like, they go, are you a doctor? Are you a medical doctor?
Are you
not a medical doctor? As if the person saying that to you is, because the medical doctors don't go around saying that to you. So it's usually a jackass who says that to you.
And I'm willing to have that conversation with the person that screams out, are you a doctor? I gotta acknowledge, man, that you said it's either that person, the Russian hackers, or you're a racist. I believe in the racist Russian hackers, and I'm standing up for their rights.
There are white supremacist Russian hackers who are ruining my life. That's why I'm not getting paid the way I am. I don't get the respect I deserve. and I gotta understand that there's a guy getting paid $100 million over 4 years doing a podcast. About freedom of speech. What the hell? Clearly a Russian hacker. Auntie Get says a new study shows cannabis helps with COVID as well. Just saying. I hope she's right. I don't know if that is true, but I hope that is right.
Oh man, I should have just kept this on Facebook.
Guillermo, that's actually we're going to talk about the next chapter. After we talk about Guillermo's and Gray's comments, we're going to talk about the next chapter in the Rogan thing. Okay. Right? Because that has to do with a lot with what's going on and the very problem you're having. The reason why you're all sketched out and tweaking out right now Because you're worried about your freedom of speech. Well, you know what?
No,
We're going to get right into that.
No, I want to be clear. I'm not worried about my freedom of speech. I don't care about these higher ideals. I'm trying to get paid. So this sponsored segment is brought to you by NordVPN. No, I'm just joking.
You want to hide from the government while you're doing shady shit? Get NordVPN. Make them think you're a Russian hacker by changing your location on the internet.
Oh my goodness.
Yo, Guillermo says, when Trump suggested injecting bleach, remember, even if it was so crazy, there were 2 cases of people who did it. I'm talking about a country that loves idols. Yo, I mean, I agree with you on Guillermo. That is true. 100%. People would do whatever he said. And just the mere fact that 2 people did it, I got a question. Yeah, let's just say it, they're idiots.
Well, let's look at this, right? You know, while we're having a large conversation nowadays about mental health and screenings, and we have all these requirements of the police and our physicians, and we want them to be more competently medically screened. I think that if we look into those, no, let me not go there because that would just upset a bunch of people. We need to make cognitive therapy, solution-based therapy, more available, readily available as talk-based therapy. Folks, get off of Instagram, right? What? Don't believe someone because they say they're the president. And also it's amazing to me that people would on one hand question everything Trump says or question everything Obama says. But then if you're right leaning, you would actually think for any particular reason that a substance that has only been known to be used historically for one thing, disinfecting things at the highest level, would make sense to inject in your body. No, and I'm not son of a bitch. And I'm not saying that I'm defending Trump. That was an idiotic thing to say publicly. I hope that he lives in infamy. There was a great female comedian that was doing parodies of him when he was doing that, because not only did he say inject yourself or potentially use a bleach-like substance, he was also saying sticking, UV ray.
Right. He also wanted, I'm saying he also wanted to shoot a nuclear weapon into the middle of a hurricane, thinking that would dissipate it. I mean, what I don't know what to say about that. Does anyone's listening to this? Grace says, I mean, I didn't take anything and I beat COVID, so I guess I'm more fit than Rogan, right? And parentheses, I am not. Raid Shadow Legends.
They're still owe me money. They won't send me my money. Raid Shadows Legends.
They're just such. Everyone's getting scammed on that.
It's my personal belief, my personal truth that I had a conversation with the owners and proprietors of Raid Shadow Legends, and my truth dictates the fact that I should get paid by these people.
Yeah, you don't understand the my truth concept. So here's what it is. The my truth isn't reality.
Mm-hmm.
What it is because of your limited ability to get information, education, whatever it is, you have a truth that may not match up with reality. So to be sensitive to the old
Wait, what did you just say?
Because doesn't link up to reality.
So my truth doesn't link up to reality?
Yeah, it doesn't make it reality. When I say your truth or whatever, I don't think that your truth is real. What I'm saying is I'm being sensitive that you think something that isn't real.
So essentially you're placating people and you're
absolutely. Absolutely. When I say your truth, I'm not really saying their truth is valid in any way. I go, yes, that is a good idea. I will take that in consideration. And then as soon as they leave the door, I do the opposite. Because they're a psychopath and they need help. Is it my place to tell them to get help? No. Because I'm just a guy. I'm just one man.
Right.
Logan says IG is the greatest news site in history, and he also wonders why didn't we do that in regards to the nuclear weapon thing. Gray says you don't even do that. Okay, well, with you, Gray, I do fight it out. I think just because I enjoy fighting with you, but to everyone else, I let them think they're going to get their way, and then I go behind their back. That's the best way to live life.
So what's the second chapter we were talking about?
The final chapter of the Joe Rogan thing. So as we all know, both on a tweet and then actually an email, and they actually showed the email. Rumble. Rumble,
Ooh.
who is the free speech or one of the free speech clones of YouTube, Canadian dudes.
Canada.
I think they're the most popular of them, actually.
Yeah, they seem like they're
They
really
said to Joe Rogan, they said, you leave Spotify right now, you come to Rumble, we'll pay you that 100 million.
and syrup.
Yeah, they're like, we'll pay you 100 million and you get to say whatever you want. We'll never censor you, because that's Rumble's thing. They're not going to censor you. And I've heard about Rumble, but I never even thought about it. And after that happened, I started looking up Rumble.
They have a great They have a great UI. Whoever did the coding and developing
their UI is top notch, way better than BitChute or anything. But another thing is, I was what I call the Minds test.
The Minds.
So there's Minds.com, which is free speech Facebook.
Right.
And then there's Parler, which is free speech Twitter.
Right.
And then there's this, right? And what it is Minds is by far the worst, craziest thing in terms of free speech. Like, as soon as you go in there, there's Nazi stuff. You're like, what the hell? And then there's somebody who's just like, black baby should burn. And then the next thing in your reel is like, aliens really control us. I have proof. By the way, I cut off my arm to prove this. And like, it's just endless. It seems like the dark web or something. Right. So I wanted to see, I'm like, is this just like video the mind, minds.com? And I went there and I checked it out, and they're not that crazy.
Which one? The Nazis?
Rumble isn't that crazy.
Oh, yeah. So a lot of people who are on Rumble, there's this one pastor, former pastor by the name of A.D. Robles, and he actually went to Rumble because he was, he had a situation on Twitter in regards to the platform, not really with an individual, very similar to something you had described to me, where he was like, all right, I don't have to tolerate this, right? I don't have to be on Twitter to spread my message. I don't have to do any stuff. So he was the first person I saw jump ship from Twitter to Rumble, and he posts all his YouTube videos there. And a lot of people would accuse that of being like, willing to jump echo chamber. But I mean, I'll look at the sentiment. If you're getting attacked for saying things that aren't insane, right? And you're not throwing Swazies up, why should he stick around on Twitter? If Rumble wants you to come over, who's going to be mad at him?
And so what I'm saying is, you're worried right now about your freedom of speech. Who's watching? Who's going to shut you down? They're not going to do that on Rumble, are they?
I want Raid Shadow of Legend money. Listen, it's the same reason fighters from the UFC don't go to Bellator. They can make more money at Bellator on franchising.
Oh, that's facts. That's absolutely facts. Unless you're a superstar, your Bellator fighters actually make more. Yeah. But the point is,
but no one wants to go to second fiddle.
Bro. Yo, you didn't see what is it? A Beautiful Mind?
Yeah, I saw it.
You remember the whole pickup scene in the bar where he figures out his whole thing?
The competing. Yes, I get that. The most common good. If we all stop,
you're all gunning for YouTube, right?
Right.
Only one of you are going to get him, and the rest are going to ass out with nothing. You're going to be sitting around with 200 followers, smoking your crank, hanging out with those hobos we were talking about at the earlier part of this podcast.
Oh, you don't have any right to judge the life of a crank smoking hobo.
I understand truth. It's their truth, but in reality, I'm placating them, but in reality, they're a dirty animal. What I'm saying is, but if we go for a Rumble, we could be superstars in Rumble.
I don't know if I want that type of attention from those people over there either, right? I
could say, let's get ready to rumble.
You didn't pay to say that. That's a trademark.
This is the problem with YouTube.
It's gonna be the same thing on Rumble, you psycho.
No. I can do whatever I want. I can just put up dick pics all day long on Rumble. You see, they said I could say whatever I want. Well, they said Joe Rogan could say whatever I want, but it applies to me too. It applies to me too.
Yeah, I can see you in court right now getting sued. You're like, they said whatever I want.
I was holding that tweet. It was addressed to Joe Rogan, but it was they were subtweeting me. They were subtweeting me, the fat mantis.
I'm being persecuted.
I mean, isn't that what social media ends up being? Everyone ends up getting persecuted on this thing.
No, it's true, man. Like, I watched a channel on YouTube called the Lapeef Network. This is probably outside of your purview, but I think I might have talked to you about it. They were doing a live stream. They have a portion of their show at the end after they're done having their lively debate, and they allow people to call up. I'm talking about like the fans, and there'll usually be like 1,100 people sitting in their chat, and they'll drop their StreamYard link, and people can jump on, and they'll call in and give their thoughts on the topic. And some troll jumped up, didn't like the stuff they were discussing, doesn't like the stances of the two main hosts, even though he has people on the show that have differing views, and he allows them to, they go back and forth and stuff. Jumped up, and instead of it being their PFP or their video, they were streaming PORN on their live stream, and their channel got pulled like that same night.
This was an accident on purpose.
No, this person did this on purpose. Their channel's back up now. Everything's all good. Their subscriber count is back where it's supposed to be.
There's no consequences to anything nowadays.
But here's the thing I'm saying. Like, if Rogan does go to Rumble, I'm not going to be mad at him, right? And I'm not going to be on the picket line with any of you psychos. Like, you see the echo chamber? Like, even though I just said like echo chambers suck, why should he stick around and get abused on Spotify?
No, I agree with that. I absolutely agree with that. No, Public Pet says, Public Pet, apparently. It says he ain't going to Rumble. That's absolutely true. He's not. But it's great that the offer was made. Auntie Cat points out. So non-confrontational. Yes, non-confrontational. That is my belief on the My Truth.
No. She Auntie Cat is referring to the the Rumble owners, I believe. they're Canadian, so they're non-confrontational.
yeah, you could push a Canadian down in the mud and they'll apologize to you. Facts.
Mantis travels there once a year to do that. He's like,
to go to a Jurassic concert, con. I like to dress up like Jimmy, wheelchair Jimmy. That's great. Gray Williams, his last podcast on the left was so smart to not re-up their exclusive deal with Spotify because they would have gotten canceled so fast if they were examined. Absolutely.
Good point, Gray. Good point.
Guillermo says Rumble offered Joe Rogan $100 million to ditch Spotify. Yes, they did. And technically, here's the thing: Joe Rogan already went 1 year into his contract, isn't he?
Yeah, he's paid.
So he's probably gotten $25 million right now in his pocket.
What was
from Spotify?
What's the total amount of his contract? Is it
it's over 4 years, $100 million.
Okay, copy.
And then he also apparently gets. I mean, apparently in the podcast realm, you also get you get things similar to YouTube, like you get paid for hits.
Yeah. He
gets that as well.
The ad revenue and stuff. And you know what? This is you. The crazy thing about the Spotify thing is, in regard to the artist, someone else had a great take, which was shout out to Ruslan KD. Don't agree with everything he says, but he did bring up a good point. Spotify is moving video platform. This was one of the moves to start that off. They're going in this direction.
Yeah, they really are. The way of the audio is going away. I actually just made a YouTube video today. It's not fully edited, so I haven't sent it out. It reminded me how much I hate video and how much I love audio. The shame thing is, me being an audio lover, I'm like a dinosaur.
No. Don't misunderstand what I'm saying. They're gonna have audio podcasts. That's where they're leaning, but they also want to have video podcasts as well.
No, but what I'm saying is, every time an app ends up giving you a choice, everyone gravitates gravitates toward the video. The people who add a video always get more hits, always get more attention, always get these things.
You know what's popping right now? What is it? The Twitter Spaces, and it's actually, you can go 2 to 3 hours on there. I was sitting in there listening to the dumbest conversation for 3 hours, and I was like, "Well, folks."
Well, you know me and Twitter, so apparently I can't go to any end. Basically, I don't want any of you motherfuckers hang out with me because I'm banned from every app. Like, people are like, you should come back to Spoon. Yeah, I'm not welcome there, isn't it obvious? That's the real reason I don't go back. I can't go to Twitter. I'm not allowed to post or like things on Twitter. Because that fucking guy from Disney Insider, but that's another story.
You're a freedom fighter, man.
I am a freedom fighter. I tell it how it is, while other motherfuckers tell it how it should be.
That's amazing.
Public says you're like a dinosaur. That's true. Thanks, Public. Public. Oh my God, Public.
Yo, but wait, you were saying. I'm sorry. So
Basically, I was trying to entice everyone to move to Rumble. Guess that didn't work. I like to try out all the new apps. Like I'm still the guy trying to make Parlor work. I'm like, yo, I got 2 likes the other day. No, they don't even, they call them. They're not even likes. They're upvotes.
It's you and the other insurgents just sitting around like, what is
no, it's me and Tucker Carlson tweeting back and forth. I'm sorry, parlaying back and forth. He's just like, great review on that last episode of The Mandalorian, man. And like, great way to shut down Black Lives Matter, Tucker. You know, the good way.
You know, he probably have some complicated views about Mando picking up a little green baby and traveling from planet to planet, not respecting their power.
He is a very smart man, but though his takes, the way he spins things is sometimes totally insane, right?
Yeah.
Which is why I seize the blood of many of your jokes. But there is more to the world going on other than Joe Rogan. I'm surprised we didn't go 7 hours on this. But Facebook threatens America. Have you heard about this?
No, I didn't hear this, man.
So you heard that over the last week, Facebook has had dramatic losses in they lost like $100 million or even more, from their investors and all these things, because it's finally reported that the Facebook bubble has burst. It's finally revealed that their numbers are going down. They're getting negative subscribers every day.
Really? Wow.
And people they're just losing a ton of people. People are just pulling out. And so over the last couple of days, like over the weekend, Zuckerberg tried to do a sly threat to America. He's like, I guess people don't like Facebook anymore. I guess I should just shut Facebook and Instagram down. Like a child, literally like a child being like, oh, you guys I'm losing popularity. I'm going to shut it all down, bitches.
I'm out of here, man. I'm out of here.
Oh my God, man. It's just so pathetic. And so the thing is I think it happened quicker with MySpace, right?
Oh man, I put so much time into MySpace.
I used to love MySpace when I was real young, because I'm a young guy. Public, that's for you.
It is ridiculous, but at the same time, like, man, do you remember when they went public? No,
not chat public, but public.
Yeah, Facebook, and people were trying to figure out, where is the revenue coming from? How is this evaluation done? And obviously, ad revenue and blah 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 blah. It doesn't surprise me that more and more people are jumping off Facebook, because there's no real way to engage with anything any longer, and it really has become the app where it's like, oh man, my grandma's jet skiing, that's nice, let me just throw a like on the video, right? Because we no longer trust anything that pops up there unless it's the Fanboy Modeling School beaming to you directly on Facebook. Bing, bing.
So I'll tell you. I'll tell you what's up, because I'm gonna give you guys some trade secrets. Okay. So as a content creator, both from the age of making web comics, into doing YouTube, and then into being this audio streaming monster that I am now. But I've always used their advertising tools.
Oh yeah.
And the unfortunate thing is, you realize how much your money gets you less and less. Yeah. When I was doing comic books back in 2013, 2014, $20 ad would get you thousands of hits on your comic book, on your webcomic. You'd be like, oh, snap, that's crazy. And over time, you see that number dwindle. Nowadays, if you spend $20 on Facebook advertising, ain't nobody clicking on the thing. You're lucky if you get those 20 clicks.
Yeah.
And they even say, when you say, I'll use $20, they're like, what you really should use is $100. And I'm like, why? Because you don't have any fucking reach. You're offering me reach that you don't even fucking have, because people don't use your thing.
Well, and it's crazy because the way that works is they would say, oh, make sure the video clips, make sure your header is correct. And these are all good practices. If you're making videos, you want to make sure that it's clear what you're talking about. Less words is better. Be more visible and all that stuff. Make sure your banner looks good.
Oh, they'll ban you, or they'll deny it if there's too many words.
Yeah.
If there's too many words on your ad. Just basically they're saying, use a picture of a sexy chick.
But wait, hold on for a second. Did he really threaten America, or did he just say, Did he just say, I don't like the way you guys are treating me?
He didn't threaten America. He did say maybe I should shut her down, basically, something like that, in a tweet or whatever.
Would you miss it? Would anyone here in the chat, YouTube or otherwise, Green Room, would you miss Facebook if it went away? I can say honestly, I would miss a lot of the people who are on there, but I'm sure I'd find them on IG. Oh, but I guess IG would be gone too. I guess I'd find them on Twitter. Oh.
I'd miss IG way more. I'd miss IG way more. I will say this. I'll give you an example. The one thing I currently, at this moment, use Facebook for, the one thing. I have a French cousin who represented Haiti. We're Haitian family. Represented Haiti in skiing years back in the Olympics.
Yeah.
And now that he's older and more experienced or whatever, like he came in 20th or something when he was in the Olympics. He didn't do good at all. It's Haiti. Come on. But now he's the coach of the Haitian Olympic team this year.
Really?
And he's putting, like, he's an older cousin of me. He's got a decade on me, maybe more. And he's putting up videos and stuff from the Olympic Games. So I'll tune in for that. And that is literally the only reason I have really like times I've put in links for our streams or my streams or whatever on Facebook. It's an accident. I'll be like, Facebook is open for some reason. Might as well drop it.
Yeah.
As if anyone's going to respond. So, like, what's the point?
I have 1,000 friends and I can't get 10% of them to click on a link.
Yeah, right. What's the point of having 10,000 friends and like you get 4 likes everything you put something up?
But you know what though, man? It's low hanging fruit. I want to talk to you on a real level about this. That's why I think the other app. Well, you said the name Spoon, so it's okay. It's okay for me to say it, right? Since you said it.
I mean, yeah.
That's what made Spoon special for so many reasons, and it's still special. Is that there's actual engagement? Like that's something that I think Facebook. I'm surprised they haven't gobbled it up already. Like not successful. I don't know how they would quantify Spoon, to be honest, but you have an actual engagement, and then you got your 15 people that you love and adore that come to your streams every day, and then you notice that number starts to go up because new people start coming in, and you're seeing that on Green Room. I don't see that type of growth for audio streaming with Facebook because even with Facebook gaming, it's hard. Like we have some great content creators over there. A lot of them came from what was the one that died?
Blender, Mixer, yeah.
And people just aren't engaging with content on Facebook. So it doesn't surprise me that the numbers are bleeding right now. People are in Reddit fighting for their lives in gladiator arenas. I don't understand.
I mean, it's just so funny that he had like a thing. He's like, well, I might as well shut it down at this point or something. It's a little sad, but whatever. He's not really going to do it because he's invested. Here's the thing. He's invested a ton of money in this metaverse. And it's true. Okay. He's thinking about the future. He's just a little late on it.
Yeah.
He's been too comfortable on this Facebook. He's like, all the aunts and uncles and grandmothers love Facebook. Are you kidding me? Grandma's cruise to the Caribbean. They love putting those pics up. Come on, bro.
Oh, but it's such an easy way to keep up with your old people, right? You're like, where are they? Let me just see where they're at.
It is, man. And anytime I go into Facebook and I see they're like, you have 87, notifications. Yeah. I'm like, it's my mother like bombing all my shit from 3 years ago. And you know what? It is. It is. And that's how I know she loves me.
I don't even think my mom uses Facebook anymore, to be honest with you. I can't think of the last thing she posts. She's always sending me TikToks, though.
Oh, my mom loves the TikToks. And she loves the dancing. I'm like, you don't think the dancing's stupid? She's like, I love it. It shows positivity in the world. I'm like, I think it shows idiocracy. Grace says so many influencers are probably having a panic attack with the thought of Instagram shutting down. Oh, yeah, like all those fake Instagram models and stuff.
They're just trying to make a living, you woman-hating monster, you.
And now I'm the asshole, right? I'm somehow the asshole. I'm the asshole because they're a fake model. They tell people they're a model. And they're really just putting up hoe pics on their Instagram. Somehow that makes me a monster. I think not. That would be tragic, but it doesn't look like too many people give a damn. And then should we talk about Baby Yoda?
Yeah, well, wait. So series or season finale tomorrow?
season finale, whatever you want to talk about. But Mando is definitely something that's on the radar of fanboy modeling school. That last episode was amazing.
Yeah, the last episode was absolutely amazing. I shout out to Star Wars Theory. Hey, bro, have us on, man. We would love to talk to you. You kind
of we love what up, bro?
We love your work, man.
I hear you're Canadian. I watched Degrassi.
Stop pandering. That last episode was amazing, and
it might have been the best episode I've ever seen of anything.
Yeah, it was. It was moving.
A little extreme.
Yeah, but I got a little emotional. I got a little emotional, man.
Yeah, the third time I saw it.
Yeah.
When Mando flies off, and Grogu puts his hand out. He's like, I was saying, oh my God, he came all this way. He didn't see him. Oh God, why?
I wanted Luke to spike baby Grogu, like, you're letting your emotions get in the way. Takes him down the hill.
Now, obviously, anyone listening to this, we're finally actually living up to the name fanboy this episode.
Yes.
I mean, although Rogan's pretty fanboy. And so we're talking about spoilers for the last Boba Fett episode. We hope you've seen it. If you haven't, you live in a cave.
Yes.
Seek therapy.
Yes.
But I know that's your truth. No. Grogu. Logan says Jon Favreau is trying hard to redeem the trilogy in his own way. He is. That's really good. And what it is he is playing in that sweet spot.
Yeah.
Of between the sequels, who most people hate, and the original. That's the sweet spot. Where we get to see Luke do cool things, and we get to see baby Yoda.
You know what? That was a great scene. So just the journey for Mando arriving there. I don't think either one of us said that he was actually going to go. We thought they were going to save that for.
Yes, I was not. I did not think they would show that.
And then when it happened, I was like, this is really, really good, man. This is a really good. It was very emotional for this reason. He shows up. We get Ahsoka. There were some, there's some people who was like, oh, this is too MCU. They're doing the MCU thing. And then to that, I say, hold on, let's get my voice right. You're an idiot. This is what people want. They wanted to see Ahsoka. They wanted to see Mando arrive to the planet. They wanted to see that. What is that robot's name?
R2D2.
Yeah, I hate that thing. They wanted to see that.
I thought he was pulling me into a trap right there for saying, what's the robot thing?
No, man, I'm not a hostile interviewer. People wanted to see that, and to see him land on the planet and then have the interaction with Ahsoka and then stare off, and that scene, him flying away with baby Grogu, that's what people wanted to see. They wanted to see Ahsoka, and man, this is really slick how Favreau did this. There was a bunch of speculation. Where was Ahsoka doing blah, 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 blah. And just like that, he whips it out, puts it on the table. He's like, yep, that's right. Ahsoka knew Luke. Like,
of course. And it makes sense. And not only that, I'm so glad we get to see scenes with them together. And obviously, I think that everyone on the internet flipped out when they said, she's like, you're so much like your father.
Yeah.
In like a good way. She meant it in a good way because she didn't really know the evil Darth Vader. She knew him from one duel, but it's great. And people are like, oh, they're doing MCU, they're doing crossovers. People want to see people in the same franchise hang out. Yes, that's not MCU didn't create that. That's a thing, bro. That's a fucking thing. People in your own universe, like you speak to your friends.
Did you say urinal first? First time did you say urinal?
I did, but you have to call me out.
I'm sorry.
I did accidentally say urinal. Thanks for fucking up the podcast.
Go ahead.
Anyway, the point is, it was beautiful. It was amazing, and I want to talk about that end.
Okay.
So here's the thing: a lot of people are angry or have issues or feelings.
How many people?
Feelings. I know it's at least Screen Crush, and his gaggle of idiots. Who else? I'm sure I've seen a couple other YouTubers who are like, why is this asshole making Baby Yoda choose? And I'd like to point out, guys, if you didn't catch on to this, it is the same choice the real Yoda gave Luke.
Yes, we all caught it.
Not everyone caught it because they're like, the people who are angry on the internet are like, yo, why is he making him choose? I'm like, he's telling him to like choose, but really he's supposed to choose Mando, but that will make him a better Jedi when he returns. Because love will lead the way. Love will lead the it's all working out, guys. This episode's about love.
It was about love, and I loved it, man. Some people are still taking issue with Ahsoka being played by Rosario Dawson. They don't think she's landing it, and I think she did amazing. I actually think this might be the role she's been looking for her entire career.
It's definitely the role she's been looking for. So here's like the pros and cons of it, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Ahsoka, as we know it, is
Yeah.
more of a bubbly person. She has a more bubbly personality than. However,
right.
We haven't seen Ahsoka in 25 years. So maybe she matured more and is less bubbly. So I'm willing to accept it.
Well, also, you have to remember the last time we had seen her in canon, she was nearly killed by the man that she revered, who had turned into a dark lord of the evil way. And then she got sucked into a time portal. Then she was pulled out by a kid named Ezra and then dropped a few decades after that point. And now she's adjusting to life, and she's looking for a blue man that flew off with that same kid because he got sucked into a space
man
with a big squid that can go.
Oh, space squid versus the space whales. Love it. Here's what I'm saying. I know that the Ahsoka I'm usually used to has a more bubbly personality.
Right.
She's a little more stoic. I equate that to her being more mature.
Wait, she wasn't very bubbly in what was this last
Rebels?
season?
Rebels.
Not Rebels, no. Clone Wars. She was not bubbly at all.
She was bubbly in the Clone Wars.
She was not bubbly. She was already headed on the path of hardened.
She was hard. She walked the line between bubbly and hardened. She was killing motherfuckers. She was decapitating people, and she's like, "Okay, Sky Guy, let's do this, Sky Guy." I love that about her.
I look. I'm not mad at you, man. I'm not going to kink shame you. It's your truth.
Kink. I don't get with that bitch. Logan says, my prediction: she turns the dark side and assassinates Grogu. That's horrible.
That's a bad take, Logan. That is beautiful.
We praised him earlier this episode. You got and you know what was another great thing other than Baby Yoda? I loved Cad Bane. I know he doesn't look exactly like himself in the cartoons.
Yeah.
However, it was still great and still scary.
Yeah, great walk-in, great scene, great shot, very Western. Also, shout out to it's 11:28, folks, and I've been up since 6 o'clock. The marshal. What's the marshal's name?
Cobb Vanth.
Yes, that entire thing was masterful. But I suspect that you, like a certain YouTuber who will not be named because we are live, and I'm not going back to edit this video. What are your thoughts? This is 2 episodes in a row. Show's been amazing without a certain character.
Yeah.
What's the name of the show again?
For me, it's Mandalorian. I don't care what. Actually, here's an example of why they went really wrong. So, I showed my mom the thing, but I explained to her the breakdown of Boba Fett, and she's like, "I don't need to see the Boba Fett stuff. Let's get to Mandalorian." And she watched it, and so she's watching it, and she's like, "Wait, I thought this was a prequel." And I said, "No, it's not." And she's like, "So what's the watch order?" And I was like, "Mandalorian season 1, Mandalorian season 2, Boba Fett, then Mandalorian season 3." She's like, "That's so confusing." And that's the thing. Me and you are comic book guys. Yeah, we remember crossovers. It's like you have to jump around to different shit.
Yeah.
But a normal layman, a normal person, which Star Wars is normally so far into the shows very good at doing that. The average person who doesn't watch the cartoons or anything can still follow along. They can still they don't need to know Cad Bane's past to be like, this blue alien is bad. They do. Or they're like, Ahsoka, I knew his father. Cool. I dig it. It's very easy, right? But the watch order thing, the fact that they put so many important character moments in Boba Fett is so confusing to the average person.
Absolutely.
They don't know what the fuck's going on.
I mean, but at the same time, isn't there something great about catching the average person up, the quote unquote normie up to like, hey, so this is that, this is what's going on. But if that's your only critique, then that's a bad look. I don't know if we need a season 2 of Boba.
No. Just give me Mando.
I would obviously watch it because I still see all the great stuff. I've still enjoyed the entire season. I still remember the great memories of Boba becoming one of the Tuskens and then doing the Taka, walking around the fire.
I honestly want someone to edit that into one episode, like all the flashbacks.
Maybe they should have done the movie. They should have,
yeah, like a movie situation.
But you get so much more out of a show, though. Movies end abruptly.
Well, that's the thing. I just think that they misstepped in the conversion of it. But
don't worry, Batman's going to be 4 hours long, so we're not going to miss anything.
Why, Jesus? Why? Because basically everyone's argument is always you're a fanboy, you have to watch this stuff. I don't have to do anything.
But you're going to.
Maybe. Maybe just a tad. Logan says the best part of Boba Fett is zero Boba Fett in it. Gray says the book of no Boba.
Gray went off with the you got any? Oh wait, the reason I was asking if Lainey. Oh, welcome in,
Lainey. Oh my God, it's Lainey Jane.
Is tomorrow's episode the finale?
Yes, the final episode is upon us.
So we didn't plan out the blurred herd thing.
No, we did not. However, here's the thing. I'm willing. I understand that. I feel like very few people are watching this at 3 a.m.
Yeah.
So we don't have to.
Yeah, we're not doing it. Next time, folks. Next show. Okay, here's it. We'll make a commitment on air right now. First episode of The Mandalorian. Blurred herd.
Okay.
Blurred herd.
Yeah, you know what? You know what I think the next Blurred herd should be? Spider-Man when it comes to Disney Plus.
Is it coming to Disney Plus?
I mean,
the licensing prevents Spider-Man.
Oh, it's a Sony movie.
Boom, shakalaka! I'm gonna be watching.
Oh my God! I didn't even realize that. I did not even realize that. Well, I've been living a lie. What is happening to me? I'm falling apart as a streamer.
This man was knee deep in it.
So any final before we move on to the next thing? Any final predictions for Boba Fett finale?
All out war. The town is obviously going to rally after what happened to their sheriff.
They should have never killed that man.
Oh no, he's not dead.
It's possible. It's possible he's alive, but they should have never brought.
He was breathing.
Well, it looked like he got hit in the shoulder. To be honest, if you really look at it.
Don't do that. Don't go Tucker on me.
I want him to be dead. He's a villainous like that.
I feel like it's going to be all out war. This might be the last chance for Boba to redeem itself in the eyes of folk like yourself, but he's got no antagonist. There's like a group that he'll be fighting against, but there's no main, unless he's the one that kills Cad Bane or whatever that the blue man is.
Yeah, Cad Bane. But to introduce Cad Bane so late in the series is just so weird. Such a weird choice. Lizzie says, what the fuck? It's going to be 4 hours of him staring and brooding and silence and brooding music. I assume she's talking about Batman, but I would not be surprised if she's talking about the Boba Fett finale, because that's kind of how the show's been going for the Boba Fett parts, right?
Oh, man. Poor Boba.
Poor Boba. He's such a great, But honestly, they really should have kept the Hutt twins.
Yeah, that would have been great.
Made them the asses. That would have been great. They already killed his potential for a girlfriend. Like, why can't Boba get laid? I hate it when the hero doesn't get laid. I hate it when the hero doesn't get laid.
What was I gonna say about this stupidity?
It's Heroes should get laid. Did I mention that?
It's so great that Disney and Lucas were able to. The production company was able to pull it together and get Pedro Pascal to agree to come on this show after he stormed off the set of The Mandalorian.
Oh my God. At the end of season 2, it's just like, you guys ready for tea time? I'm coming over. I'm bringing crumpets.
Oh, Lainey hasn't seen it yet. Spoilers, man.
Lainey, what are you doing? Lainey, you living your life wrong?
What do we got? What's our last topic for tonight? Let's get off.
I just feel like I've ruined everyone's life. Anyway, maybe Kira. Oh wait, hold on. We got to talk real quick. The Kira situation.
Okay, go.
So Kira is Emilia Clarke from Game of Thrones. She played Han Solo's sort of girlfriend in Solo. Remember that she was one of the survivors of Crimson Dawn, and Darth
Yes.
Maul, the secret boss of it, was like, "I'm
Yeah.
going to train you in all the ways."
No, that's
How
not what he
to be a
said.
crime
But
boss.
you're gonna be next to me. You're gonna stay closely next to me.
Yeah, which is also subtle suggestions of some really grimy shit. Which this podcast is way too childish to get into.
Right.
We're not adult enough. But so apparently in the comics, she inherits not only Crimson Dawn, but his Sith infiltrator, his vehicle. Now, at the end of episode 5, that's when Mandalorian comes in. Remember, he's in the ring world.
Yes.
The art for the ring world shows in the corner the Sith infiltrator, Maul's personalized ship, coming in for a landing. And the art, it's the artwork during the end credits. Now that could be anything. The artist could have just drawn that. Who the fuck knows, right?
Right.
And then at the end of this last episode, they had the Crimson Dawn theme played for like less than 30 seconds. But they have a little interlude of it. And so people keep saying, they're like, this is hinting that Emilia Clarke will make some sort of appearance next episode, maybe even in just like a quick cameo or something.
I actually liked her in Han Solo. That movie, I've watched it twice, and it's not as bad as, it's not great, but I enjoyed her.
Yeah, it's not great.
I wouldn't be mad at that. I wouldn't be mad at it. I wouldn't be mad if they explored more of the, I thought we were going to get more syndicate stuff in this show. We've gotten a little bit, but it's been more honor bound. And, but it's too late, I think, to bring her in as an antagonist. She has to come in as like an anti-hero or something like that, you would think, right?
I don't think she's a hero. I think she's in control of the spice trade. I think she's the villain.
The spice must flow.
The spice must flow, bitches.
Mantis, if you are ever crippled, I promise to invent technology that will allow you to float but be bulbous and disgustingly fat. And you
can just yes, bonus. We all know that's where the fat mantis is headed in life. Thank you, brother. Thank you. That means a lot to me. And then finally on Fanboy Modeling School, we're going to quickly talk about the Matrix lawsuit going on. So the co-owner of the Matrix, that's the Wachowski's scene, they are suing. Because apparently they said that they were not told. It wasn't discussed with them that Matrix would be both on HBO Max and in theaters.
Why would HBO need to discuss anything with them? They're lucky to be working. Take their check, sit out and shut up.
After the last movie they made, they're lucky to. Yeah, they are absolutely lucky doing this. And so what the problem is, the point of the problem with their whole thing is that anytime they make a movie, for some reason, their department has to. Even though they make profits off of it, I don't fully understand it. They have to pay Warner Brothers. They have to like tithe to them. What is there's something Village there?
The Wachowskis.
Yeah, they're like production company or something like that, and they might not be able to make their payments. They might not be able to pay for their portion of the movie. Basically, they throw in the money. They're like, this is our portion of the money, and we get all the profits. And you'd think off the profit, well, no, that's the thing. The movie didn't really make profits.
Wait, are you telling me that Jupiter Rising didn't make any money? Is that what you're saying to me?
Yeah, Jupiter Rising is the nightmare I have after 3 days of a meth binge. So.
They're on hovercrafts.
Well, that's worthy of a movie. I don't know. Paying in the theaters, I don't really know, but so they're suing. They're suing each other. There's going to be a whole thing. They might be able to wiggle the Wachowskis out of this whole situation at the end of it.
I don't. No, you know what? I don't want them to be robbed. I definitely don't want that because. But how many people are not being told by HBO and Warner Brothers, hey, this is going to be a dual release? This is happening. And I think that maybe some legal precedents trying to be set here. I think they're following the Scarlet,
And the Warner Brothers, yes, Scarlet opened the doors. Yes. Black Widow, Scarlett Johansson opened those doors right there. And so then basically, what's his face? The main, the main CEO of Warner Brothers said something really condescending to them.
Read the chat really quickly so you can get angry.
Jupiter Rising was amazing. I love that movie. Okay, wait. This sounds like this movie. Was the soundtrack even amazing? I know you're trying to get my goat right now, Lizzie. I know you're trying to make me feel things, so I punch a wall on camera. Not falling for that again. But was the soundtrack even amazing? Was anything? Was the fact that he's a space elf with flying boots amazing? This idiot the other day was like, I'm so upset that they wouldn't let me do Gambit. I don't watch Marvel movies. You heard that, right?
Yeah.
Useless.
Again, take it down, Magic Mike.
Yeah, Magic Mike. Stay in Magic Mike.
Yeah.
Don't ruffle feathers. Shut the fuck up. Stay pretty. Shut up and dribble.
But in regards to the in regards to the lawsuit. So what are you thinking here, man? Because here are my thoughts, right? I don't want any creative, I don't want any artist to get screwed out of what they got coming to them. You know what I'm saying? Like, you put in the work, you create a medium, even if it is horrible. That movie started off great. I think that if the Wachowskis are owed something, they should be paid that. Obviously, I want the ethical thing to happen. But if not, this is like, it's dead air to me because one, the movie sucked. So you're already losing in the court.
Do we really need more of them? Is the question.
And then it's already greenlit. We're getting another one against our will.
And so the thing is that the Wachowski, believe it or not, even though Lana Wachowski is responsible for The Matrix, Lana Wachowski may be the only good thing that they have left in the creative department, because let's face it, Warner Brothers has been put in charge of countless properties and failed to produce on every level. If you worm the Wachowskis out, what is left?
Nothing.
You're gonna have a bunch of idiots just being like, whatever. They're like, yo, let's make. I don't even know what kind of crazy ideas they're gonna. I can't even think of how bad they're gonna run in it, because I could never predict the way they run DC properties into the ground. It's literally like they want to lose money. It's like they're in a competition to lose money or something with someone.
I really do think they're just trying to cash out at this point, but unfortunately, they released Peacemaker. They were probably like, this is the thing. This will finally push them over the edge. And it's just amazing.
It's so utterly amazing. I love the Peacemaker. God bless you, James Gunn. I never thought I'd be saying that to a guy who, like, I was angry with a couple years ago because this whole thing.
Because he didn't say hello to you at a restaurant?
No, because he makes pedophilic jokes.
Wait, wasn't he canceled for that? How did he get back in the door?
No, he got canceled and fired from Marvel, and then DC was like, let's pick him up.
And then Kevin Feige went to go visit him on the set.
Yeah, because what it is, word on the street was that Suicide Squad was so good. Kevin Feige came and was like, hey, brother, how's it going?
First Suicide Squad? Oh, no, obviously the second one. But here's the even crazier thing.
He didn't do one. He only did the second.
Yeah, I know he only did two, but we're making a good point here. So you mean to tell me he took a hiatus, stepped away from the public eye after making an apology, came back, gave the people what they wanted, and was accepted back in the door?
Yes.
I rest my case.
I agree. I do agree that is how it should go down. Take a quick hiatus, guys, after you get canceled or whatever you're doing out there. Just never double or triple down. You know what I mean?
Or you end up like the guy who played Kramer.
Oh yeah, that dude's in a homeless shelter right now.
He's still screaming from the island, I didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah, no, man. Yeah, man. Just yeah. But yeah, that looks like another amazing episode of Fanboy Modeling School. I do, however, have some announcements. I have an announcement to make.
Okay.
Are you ready for this, my friend? Real question. My brother right now, Steve. Next Monday, Fanboy Modeling School, it's Valentine's Day.
Oh, that's correct. I was going to have a conversation with you about that.
Off air or on air?
I mean, I can have it with you on air, obviously.
Okay, so I was planning on doing a 12-hour stream.
Uh-huh.
And we can include Fanboy Modeling School into it. However, I know, you're married, which means you're probably going to be busy and not have time for this foolishness.
You never know. It depends. I work, so by the time I get home, I'm Miss Valentine. So it either will be taking the missus out prior or after. But always want to make sure I come in and say I love you and appreciate you for everything you do, babe. Here on YouTube and otherwise.
Will you just let me know? I'm going to be streaming.
I wasn't telling Mantis that I loved him. He's not babe.
Yeah, I don't love you, and you don't love me.
I hate everything about
keep
you.
your hands to yourself. So fresh. So fresh. The point is, next Monday, Saint Valentine's Day, I have no one. I'm alone in this world. The only one who loves me is the bottle. So I will be drinking live from noon to midnight here on Spotify Green Room. Maybe I'll be dual casting on different areas. And however, we can put Fanboy Modeling School into it should you somehow get away from the Valentine's obligations of a married man. I doubt you're going to, but if you are, let's make that happen. Let's make it part of the whole thing.
You just called me a beta in a very long and nice
way.
way.
Did not call you a beta. I understand. If I was married, I'm going to be honest with you. If I was married or even had a girlfriend, I wouldn't do Fanboy Modeling School.
Yes, you would. She'd be sitting right in the background on that bed like, hi, babe. Hi, babe. Hi, babe.
I'd just be like, baby, let's wrap it up. I need to get on stream.
I don't want to talk to you anymore. We just killed all the time. So just say goodnight. You know where to find us on all our streaming platforms, Twitter, Discord,
Spotify Green Room.
Whoa, I got some crazy people coming into my chat right now. All those things. Block.
Block, bitch.
Oh, get back. But anyway, let's go ahead and end it, my brother.
Anyway, yo. This is the Fat Mantis HD, and I'm here with
your boy and Uncle Curmudgeon, Steve, the Hold Up TV.
You mean Sleepy Joe? You seem pretty tired, bro. Let's wrap this one up.
You should look over in the YouTube chat and see what someone just wrote right there. End it. But
yo, much love to all of you. You guys live that dream. God bless. And until next time, ciao for now.
Peace. Oh, end broadcast. We're still live on YouTube and Facebook. Good night, everyone.